That was wild because Mark Anthony Green from GQ hit me up, and they needed a grill from me for Rob, and I was in Miami at Art Basel when I got the call. Eric Andre saw me on a FaceTime while my assistant was making the mold for Rob, and he was talking the most epic shit ever. And it was fucking funny. So like Rob Pattinson's got a mouthful of dental alginate. My assistant, who's like very insecure, she was very green about making molds, and she was there trying to do her best. And Eric Andre's just talking hella shit. And it was just a fun moment at Art Basel while Diplo is playing and all this noise and everything. And I actually left Art Basel early to come back to then work with the mold and make the grills for that shoot. And I was going back and forth with Mark, who was producing this whole project, and Jack was shooting it and all this stuff. But they gave me like a deck of what it's going to look like, and it was like very posh suits, and nothing was like edgy. And it was like, and when you see a photo shoot and you scroll through there, at least at that point, the shoot was like Rob Pattinson in a suit, Rob Pattinson in another suit. And you see those shoots, he has like the neon green and neon orange suit, they shot that shit. But the white tank top, bleached hair and all that, that was me and Jack and all of us working together, like throwing in these fucking ideas. And I remember distinctly telling him on the first call, I was like, I don't want to make Pretty Boy Edward from Twilight Grills. I want to make something fucked up for this guy. He's going to be Batman. Let's fuck him up. And I mentioned, because I had some prosthetic friends, Lainey, who's passed away. I was like, maybe I can get Lainey in this. I was always thinking how I can get my friends in on projects that I work on. And I was like, let's break his nose. Let's give him like face tattoos and shit, you know? And it's funny because that cover is him with like a scar here on his nose, a face tattoo, spider web on his face and everything, and him looking deranged as shit. It's been like, what, how many years now? There isn't a fucking photo shoot that I go to, a set that I go to, that I do not see photos from that shoot on the mood boards. They're on everything. Everyone's fucking trying to replicate that lighting setup, that style, that energy. That was a perfect storm. Everything came together. I really got to blame Eric Andre. You were the fucking chaos, bro. You're fucking chaos. And you know, maybe in some weird way, his chaos came into that. And I love it because everything fell in the right place for that thing to really make a mark on history. That GQ, Will Welch, the global editor, told me that was the one issue of GQ that has gone into the most printings globally. And I've got all the copies of every cover that I could get. The most difficult one was the Russian cover, because essentially the war with Ukraine started the week before that was supposed to land, and it was printed in Ukraine, not in Russia. And I actually had, thank my friends Little Big, it took them like 10 months to get me a physical copy of that one. Even no one at GQ even had a copy of the Russian copy of it, because of the war fucking fucked everything up. And of course, you know, that image dropped and then a war started. Like, what a moment in time. I'll never forget that, because some of my friends in Russia, Little Big, for example, they were like doing Eurovision, and they were like a really big, loving, like Russian, they were a beloved Russian band. They were the face of Gucci, the face of Coca-Cola. And these guys spoke out against the war because they have their principles, and they spoke out. And now they can never go back to Russia again. They're labeled criminals because they support Ukraine and no war. Not Ukraine, but they support no war. And, you know, that shit wrecked a lot of lives, and still to this day. And it's crazy to see how geopolitical aspects tied to fashion and history and moments in time can make things land and hit in certain ways, and, you know, puts things in perspective. Like, yeah, we all remember that, but does anyone remember the context of the world of when that image hit? Everyone's lives changed right when that image came out, and it was a fucked up image of Robert Pattinson, who, you know, that at large is a thing to contextually think about when you think about that image. I hope people take away that from this interview, that like that image came out right when the world changed.